Hello everyone and welcome. This is gonna be my first video for this channel, and I wanted to showcase how I built this mini ITX build. These are some of the components I will use, and the most important part from this build is the case. I'm gonna show you in a bit what are the main features of this case. This is the A24-V. That's how you find it on AliExpress. We sometimes find it difficult to have this case on availability, especially for my region. But it has some really interesting details, specifically if you look closely, as I'm gonna show you real soon. This case actually has a really well made material. It's all made from metal, and the paint work is really fine. I think it's a smooth kind of like black matte type of color, and it's just really slick, and it's really good looking case. This showcases a 5-liter case. It includes a lot of screws and some spare ones as well, the extension cable for the PSU. And we'll see here that I had already pre-installed some of the components, specifically for the motherboard, since it came in a lot sooner than the case. So here I have everything set up already. I have an M.2 slot in here for the 2TB NVMe, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM from Crucial Pro, and I'm rocking a Ryzen 7 8700F, which is a really good processor that you can also get from AliExpress, and it's a lot cheaper than buying a Ryzen 7 7700X. I'm also having the PB Flex 500 watt PSU. This type of case only is adaptable for this type of flex power supplies, and it was a little bit difficult to get in. I have to give credits to a couple YouTubers that you will see in the description box, where they have really good guides on how to install this PSU, because it is a little bit hassle-some, and the cable management is also a little bit tricky. I recommend you that you put the cable management first before installing the motherboard. I actually had to do some rework and remove the motherboard before because I hadn't connected some cables already. So in order for you to have the build looking slick, you might want to try to hide those cables in. Here I'm just finishing a couple connections on the motherboard as well as the CPU. And next up, you'll see that I will be trying to adjust as well for the GPU, which will be rocking a 5060 low profile GPU from NVIDIA, and Gigabyte is the winner here, which really has a really good looking card. It's really small, as you can see. I'm going to compare it with the palm of my hand. And in this case, you'll also see that the bracket that it comes in with is a little bit too long for this case. So here I'm gonna test it, and as you can see, it actually pops off. So we have to remove that and install the low profile bracket. So we'll be doing that. And on the meantime, as you can see, there's a really limited I/O on the back part. This is the only I/O that you'll be able to connect your USB ports to. Here I had to disconnect this little bracket here that the case has for securing the GPU. So I had to remove that before placing the GPU in. So after everything is set up, we will be doing some testing, and here I'm gonna give you a close look to all the parts. I'm also gonna connect the cable for the GPU. This is gonna be the 8-pin connector, and it is a little bit tricky, so you have to get your hands in really tight spots. So here's a little close-up of the build. already finished up. There's really not much to say. It isn't actually that difficult. It's just doing the right steps in the report in the right order. Because if you don't do those, you'll be having a lot of trouble in rearranging spots and then disconnecting things all over again. And yeah, you can actually mount a couple SSDs, or if you want a hard drive, but that's probably gonna be very limited to the space that you have. So yeah, we're gonna be running some tests. I pre-installed some games already to test the computer, and as you'll see, I had the curiosity of connecting it to a 4K television. So I did that in my living room, and surprisingly it holds up. So since this TV only supports 60 hertz as a refresh rate, I'll be setting that as my limit FPS for most of my games. But it should be alright. Shouldn't be a problem. So here I'm gonna be starting to run Death Stranding, which runs really stable at 60 FPS. I wanted to see what's the limit, so I cranked up the settings a little bit, and it only allows us to run at 60 FPS with DLSS. And I'm also gonna be running Howard's Legacy, which I'll show you in a bit. And it also holds up really well if you want to play a lot of games in your living room, so you can just run Steam and basically just turn on the computer with just your control, and that should be it. So yeah, I appreciate your time. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, you can let me know on the comment box. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next time.